Good evening, Sammy here, and it is our tarot astrology reading time. I'm so happy you're here, and it's a beautiful, beautiful evening. Welcome, welcome. So happy you are here. And so what we're going to do is listen to the sound bowl and drop in with a moment of breath and meditation. Then I'll talk a bit about the stars, and then we will pull some cards. So, thank you for being here, and let's all take a deep breath together. Inhaling. Inhale a little more. Exhale. And then exhale a little more. Let's say an Om together. Om. May all beings everywhere be at peace. And maybe it would be nice to we could do this short little meditation. I forget the name of it. I'll post later what that is in the comments, but it's this practice. I read about it, I think, in the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, but it's the practice of breathing in all of the pain and all of the suffering of the world, and then breathing out love. So it's like breathing in all of the pain and difficulty, and then burning it away within you and in your heart, and digesting it and dissolving it, and then just breathing back out pure love to replace it. And I love this practice because it's this idea of being fearless, that I am so strong and so powerful that I don't need to be afraid of pain or discomfort. I can welcome it and know that the force of love within me is so much stronger that not only am I not afraid of it, but I welcome it, because I know that after passing through me, it will be changed, and that there will be less pain and more love in the world. So let's do that together maybe. So we'll take a few breaths, and as we inhale, just imagine whatever that pain is in the world around you on a bigger scale, or within your life. Imagine it, breathing it in, and then, only if you're comfortable with this, of course, but breathing it in, and then picture it just melting and dissolving inside of you, and then turning into this loving warmth energy, and then breathing that out and imagining it going everywhere it needs to go and healing everywhere it needs to heal. So let's do like 3 of those breaths, and then we will turn to astrology. Okay, ready? Let's do it. Inhaling. Imagining it dissolving. And exhaling the love. And imagining it travel everywhere it needs to go. So again, let's inhale all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the discomfort. Letting it be broken down and changed in our hearts. And then exhaling the love. One more time. thank you for joining me in that, and please comment if you felt anything while you did that and how the experience was for you, and if there's any lingering effects or questions, you can always message me and I'm happy to talk about it. So, if you were to look at the star map, the clock face of the zodiac right now, where we are, it makes this beautiful shape. It's like this, you have this point, and right now the point is on the top, and then there's this kind of like kite shape. And what's happening right now is we've had this situation of 3 squares. We've had Mars and Aries forming a square, which is that 90 degree angle with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, which is sort of like this tense, maybe aggressive, maybe like power oriented sort of tension in those areas of life. But right now what's happening is that the moon in Taurus is forming a trine with Venus, and it's also forming a trine with, wait, hang on one second, I'm back. So it's also forming that with the sun in Virgo. So you have this, you have these 2 beautiful trines happening, and then you also have the moon in a sextile in 2 directions, which is what that kite formation is. So those 3 planets, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, that have been in that tense square with Mars and Aries, are now in a sextile with the moon in Taurus. And Mars in Aries is a very strong place for Mars to be, because Mars is bold, passionate, active, can be aggressive, but also is very strong and bold and confident, and that is in Aries, which is a lot of the same qualities as Mars. Now we have the moon in Taurus, and we talked about that last night, about how the moon is comfortable in Taurus just the way Mars is comfortable in Aries, because the moon is all about nurturing and emotion and caring and sensitivity, and Taurus is very much similar values. They're both kind of these like soft, warm, sensual beings, both the moon and Taurus. So we have that happening, where the moon in Taurus is at this semi-sextile, which is half of a trine, and a trine is 120 degrees. That's 1/3 of a circle. And so half of that trine is a sextile, which is 60 degrees. And the fact that the moon is now in a sextile with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto kind of takes the edge off of that tension that's been at play, because what that does is it brings up the warm and expansive and beautiful and soft aspects of those planets. So with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto there, with the moon in that sextile in Taurus, we get this ability, like with Pluto, to go very deep into the truth and in a loving and gentle way. And then with Saturn, that there's an ability for things that we have been working towards to really flourish. So everything that you've done with good intentions, and all of the things you've been working towards and wanting to build, those things are being sort of like amplified and enhanced and uplifted by that sextile with the moon tonight. And then Jupiter is very much about like the bigger picture and imagination and inspiration and vastness. And so the moon is bringing those qualities into our hearts and out of our subconscious, and allowing that to flourish as well. So we have that happening, and then the moon, so that's this sextile in one direction. So if you have the kite with that sort of like wide triangle and then going down to the trines, in the other direction, so you have the moon in trine with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, and then you also have the moon in trine with Neptune in Pisces. Let me just double check that. Hang on. Sorry about that. So Neptune in Pisces is also very much at home because Neptune is dreamy and intuitive, and Pisces is dreamy and intuitive, and the moon is amplifying that. So we have a lot of very moon-based moon-based love and gentleness and encouragement coming from all the planets right now. So now is a good time, today and tomorrow, to take advantage of that and to enjoy it, and to know that it's helping along whatever things that you've been working on, that there's like this energy that's just uplifting your work, uplifting your relationships, uplifting your ability to envision what you want from life and what you want to create and who you could be. All of that is in the stars right now, and yeah, it's a beautiful time. And so other than that, we don't have any planets moving signs today or tomorrow or anything like that, so we can just ride this wave of those beautiful sextiles, and then, yeah, from there, why don't we pull a few cards? I'll shuffle. Maybe we'll get to see the Fool again. Isn't this shirt awesome? My babe, she's the best. I love her. So, while I shuffle, I invite you to take a few breaths and get in touch with whatever it is that is up for you, or just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, let's see what we have. I'm picking these cards for all of us, wherever you are. One. La 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 la. Two. Three. Okay. The Knight of Swords. I think this was the third card we picked last night, actually. Very interesting. Well, with the sun in Libra right now, because we have the air quality of this, there's some haste with this card. Haste to share ideas, to communicate, and there's passion there too. So I think it's a call to ride the energy of passion in communication, and also to be aware of the balance and recognize, okay, when is a good time to share passionately, and when is a good time to reflect on what's being shared in order to have the most effective communication, because the moon and that sextile with Pluto is all about that deep and effective communication. So that's what we have first. What's our second card? The High Priestess. Ooh. Isn't she beautiful? And she has this scroll on her lap. She has the moon at her feet as her outfit turns into waves and water. And there's a tapestry behind her on which there are these ripe pomegranates. And she also has these two pillars here. One is darker and one is lighter. and they have these letters B and J. And then she has this sort of like plus sign, like cross type of design on her chest. I love this card because the High Priestess, she's mystical, but she's also grounded. So she's not like all about the head and these like ideas. She's a very good balance that integrates the earthly and the spiritual, the physical and the mental, the emotional, and the mind, all of that, because that's the fruit in the back of her. And then these pillars, and I've looked up what those letters might stand for. People have some different opinions on them, but to me, I always think of beauty and justice as the B and the J. And then the cross on her chest is just being about the intersection of, the heavens and the earth. So our ideals, our dreams, and then also our bodies and our environments, and where everything meets at the heart. Kind of like we were doing that meditation before, where we breathed in the world's pain and then let it change in our heart, and then breathed out the love and the beauty. And she's sitting between these pillars, which are very much Libra. It's very much like the scales of balance. It's kind of similar to me to the Justice card. And these ideas that in order for balance, there has to be, that commitment to things being aligned, and to things being just, and then also to things being beautiful and loving. And then, we have the moon there, and since the moon right now is in all of these trines and sextiles, I think it ties in really well with what's happening in the sky. So there are these realities that, like the moon pulling the waves, and the fact that there are things that are right and just, and that we need to be aligned with them in order to enjoy the fruit of life and the abundance. And so, a powerful, beautiful card. And our third card is the Page of Wands. Got some fire here. And it makes me think of Aries, Mars and Aries, because this is a fire, the wands are fire, and this is, the page is sort of just learning about the wand, just starting to get to know the power of fire, getting to know their own ability to create and change and take action. And there's a humility about it, but there's also a lot of dedication. So it could represent things that you feel that way about, things that you're building. It could represent people in your lives that you care about, that have those qualities of being inspired, being passionate and active, but also having respect for the power that they have, and wielding it with the intent to create greater beauty and love and justice in the world. And here we have the three cards together. This isn't necessarily the order. I'm just going to move the order around because we kind of have like a series here of, in terms of evolution, maybe somebody like starting out with some fire and some passion and some curiosity about how to use their actions, and then somebody who has sort of learned how to wield their sword and is galloping and ready to carry through those actions and those ideas. And then you have sort of this, you have this very balanced and calm person who has achieved a lot and who knows how to bring it all together. And I think this is the card that I'm going to keep in mind going into tomorrow, and maybe do some more meditating on about how to be more like her, be more like the high priestess, and allow emotions and ideals and earthiness and spirituality all to meet at my heart. So there you have our cards for tonight. Thank you so much for being here. It was very lovely to be together. And again, you can always message me with more questions. And I just started posting these on YouTube now. So if you are there on YouTube, you can like and subscribe, and then you'll see when I post things. And I'm gonna probably start posting things in the morning too, to sort of kick you off for the day. But if you're seeing this in the morning from yesterday, I'm definitely talking about things so that they will apply to the following day, not just tonight. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have a beautiful evening. Let's listen to a sound. Enjoy the next 24 hours of Moon in Taurus. Do your work, eat your snacks, take your naps, and I hope you are very happy. Have a good night.